Hello everyone, my name is Barbara, and I am here to share with you guys a little about my English experience, trying to reach an advanced level that I'm still not in it yet, but I'm trying. So it's been a while since I started learning English. I think 5 years, but I quit it for a period, for a stint. Um, and I came back learning English like 6 months. You know, um, I can talk with native English speakers, but I make a lot of mistakes, pronunciation mistakes, as you can see, right? But I'm really trying it. I practice English every day, I'm sure that sometimes it's not possible. We end up failing. And I know, now I am traveling with my boyfriend's family, and I can't practice my English, I can't sit and study English. Um, but um, when I am in my usually days, I do it. So, no, I make it a point to study English every day, and I really like it. I really like to learn language. I feel that we expand our thoughts and our visions about life and about people mainly. I've been talking to a friend from Canada, and it's so nice to talk with someone that lives a different culture than you and that is interested in your culture, because she is learning Portuguese, so I can practice English with her, and that's so nice. So I'm trying to reach advanced English. I'm doing this basic practicing my English, trying to speak in English as I can, as it is possible to, and to write in English. I think that when I am B2 level, it's a advanced intermediate, and I think that when we can already talk, even if we do a lot of mistakes, we need to practice it as possible as we can, because just talking that we're gonna move forward, you know and writing as well, because writing is very good for you when you want um to try uh um building thoughts in English, you know what I mean, like creating sentence that's way too important for you. But you know that yeah, when I see people around here, I get very shy, and that's a problem for me. uh, but the thing is, um, the most important thing about learning a language is to be willing to try and to make mistakes, because just making mistakes, that we can do almost everything that we are learning. If you don't do what we are learning, if you don't practice what you are learning, even if you are not perfect on it, because how to become perfect in something without trying, without experiencing it, in real life, like talking with a native English speaker, that's impossible. In order to talk with someone, because you need to think about it, like you want to learn why do you want to learn a language? You want to learn a language to communicate with people. So the best way that you can do that, to practice your English or your target language, is talking with people. You know, there is no way out. You know, like, you need to do that. You need to be able to create connections in another language, your target language, and don't be afraid of making mistakes, because it's just making mistakes that we learn. And I know that's a sentence that we always hear, but you know, that's real. And that's the same with anything that you want to learn. If you want to learn crochet, for example, like me, like I started to learn crochet some time ago, and I do a lot of mistakes, man. I really do, you know, like, I'm always crocheting and I make something that's not what I meant to do. But you know, I can fix it. I can fix it and try again. That's the main part of it, you know, like, to try again. If you're speaking with a native speaker and you made a mistake and you're very shy about that, you can do it again, you know, like, you can talk with the same native speaker or with another one, and do not make this mistake. And after you know the mistakes that you do the most, you can correct them. You can just try again and to not do it again. Sometimes you will do it again, but that's not a problem. That's a process. And learning a language is a process, definitely, you know. Learning anything is a process, and we need to be able to be vulnerable, because if not, do not move forward, do not stay far away from we already are. In order to be far away, you know, in an advanced level, we need to do things that we don't do often. Because if you do the same things that you do always, that's gonna be a problem. You know, you will not change. We just change our habits, our abilities, when you change our actions. And learning an language, it's about that. It's about trying to figure out new tools to improve your language target. And the way that I found it, for me, it is to try to speak with people, you know, like, to try to speak with people, to write in English. And that's the hardest part of learning a language, you know, because it's very easy to be there, to be listening, to watching a movie, you know, it's comfortable. But that's good when you are in the beginning. When you are not, that's not useful for you, you know. You need to go forward, you know. You need to start to do the things that are not so comfortable. And that takes a little bit of courage, you know. That's a beautiful place that I am now. I am now in Serra Negra here in Brazil. And I don't know if you can hear the birds. You know, I guess that you can't see them because my camera is not so good, but maybe you can hear them. And now I heard a cow. I don't know if you were able to listen that, but you know, I'm very proud of the things that I've learned. You know, like the language stuff in English. I'm very proud of being here talking English, even if I do a lot of mistakes. You know, even if my pronunciation is not perfect. I'm proud of myself to be here. And learning a language is, like awesome. It's I think that you will have it for the rest of your life, and you can create connections with people. And creating connections with people have been something that I've always struggled with. But I think that learning a language is helping me with that. Like to be able to know people, to be able to create connections, to create a bond with people. That's so good. Like, and when I talk in English with someone, I get really proud of myself. Like the other day, I am like, oh my god, I talked with a native English speaker. They understood me, and that's not about like, oh my god, I think that people that speak English are better. No, there's nothing to do with that. Actually, it's a proud of my goals being achieved. Like, I planned to me that I would learn English, and now I am. Each time that I talk with someone in English, my English is better and better. Sometimes I feel that I am not so good in English. Like, sometimes we kind of struggle with it, even if we are a long time talking English, because we feel disconnected with the language. Why people are so afraid of making mistakes? I don't know. Like, I think that the human being needs to feel perfect. Like, we don't do anything that we think that we can be like laugh at, like the other people can laugh at us. And that's a problem, because it's a few of us that are it's are a few of us, I don't know, but there are a few of us that really um allow allow yourself to make mistakes. And I think that if we are more willing to make mistakes, we our growth will be way too bigger. Like, it will increase like a lot. So start allowing yourself to make mistakes. Start to allow yourself to be vulnerable. To Sometimes people can laugh at you, like you're talking a language that you are learning, and sometimes people laugh at you, like, not in a good way but in a bad way, and you feel like that you're not going to do it, like you're not going to achieve a better English. That's not true. um, People that laugh at someone who is trying to achieve a better ability in something, they actually probably never achieve it. Nothing. Like, they don't know how stressful it is to learn something new, so they don't give a shit, like, about you. They say that you are weird talking another language, or that you are like, bad in it, and they start to talk things very bad about you. But you don't need to be concerned about those people, because like, in order to achieve something that the most of the people don't have, like a second language, at least here in Brazil, we it's very hard to find someone that speaks in English or in another language. No, very, very hard. But and when people say that you are trying to do something that is not common, like that sounds, like weird, or sometimes even arrogant. I don't know if that word exists in English, but if not, I'm gonna put the translation for that. But I think that there is this word. So don't be afraid of making mistakes when you are learning a new language. You will just learn it if you are making mistakes, if you're talking to people, because you want to learn a language, talk to people, right? So why don't you do that now? I know that in the beginning, the very beginning, it's very hard for us to speak with native language speakers because we feel that we are not prepared. And yeah, in the beginning, just focus in listening. That's my advice, at least. That worked for me. Focus on listening, on um, on getting English usual for you, because like you need to get used to the language in order to speak it. That's what children do when like native English speakers, when they are child, they would first listen to it a lot and then start the first utterance. But and you need to do the same thing. You need to first to get used to the language, and after that you can start to speak with people, to say your first words in English like a baby. So get used to the language at the beginning, and when you feel that okay, I can understand, you can start to talk to yourself, and after that you can start to talk with people. That's gonna be better. I think that worked for me, because if you're not prepared yet, like you don't listen, your listening so it's not so good yet, probably you'll make a lot of mistakes. There's no problem in making mistakes, as I said, but in the beginning you can be traumatized. That's the word very hurts, but you can be very traumatized because you are definitely not prepared. Like it's like a child of like 1 year trying to speak with an adult, and the adult will not understand it, and will be no communication. Like you will not be able to communicate. You need to have this feeling of the moment that you can start to speak with people, but you need to like that's a warning. Sometimes we lie to ourselves, saying that we are not prepared yet, but we are. If you can understand English, like if you can like watch a video on YouTube from someone that is talking in English, and that person is a native English speaker, you can understand like 80%, 90%. You are able to talk. You need to put the English outside, not just inside. So you need to have this feeling of like realizing that you are able to do already, and that's very hard to do, because sometimes we get stuck in that thing that I'm not prepared, I'm not ready for this, but you definitely are, and you need to realize that, and that's just with time that you can realize that. But look more to yourself, like look more to yourself.